Morning. Thank you, Mel. That was nice of you. As always, I'd like to start by thanking you, General Dean, and Ms. Khiree Smith, for all you both do for the world. Let's give them a round of applause, please. I'm going to sit this here, if that's okay. Is that better? But I have to admit that when I heard the theme or the slogan for this year's mid-year, I had a somewhat cynical thought occur to me. The power of the movement, it made me wonder if there really is a such thing as a movement anymore. And we live in this information age where we know about everything instantly. So there's no shortage of outrage. There's always something to be outraged about. Kidnapped Nigerian girls, outrage. We talked about Newtown, outrage. Colorado, Trayvon Martin, the neglect of Chicago, outrageous. LeBron James leaving the Miami Heat. I mean, outrageous. And we express our dissatisfaction in these meticulously crafted, eloquently painted Facebook statuses and impressively efficient Twitter rants. And then this goes on for about 2, maybe 3 weeks. And then after that, nothing. Silence. I've deemed these stints the temporary movement, which is completely oxymoronic, I know. But you have to admit that gone are the days of galvanizing the masses via soaring speeches or televised sit-ins or protests or decade-long shared sentiments that completely shift a culture. Things just look different now. So it's a reasonable question, is there a such thing as a movement anymore? And if we're being honest with ourselves, between just me and the 2,000 of you, I think the answer is absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay, Khiree, if there is a such thing as a movement, as you say, then I think the next logical question is, well, where is the power of this movement? And I would say the answer to that question is as simple as it is elegant and beautiful. The power of the movement is in the neglected snooze button of your alarm clock. It's in the everyday. It's in the pen of every politician on our side in this fight. It's in the maturity of every young person who opts not to make fun of someone with addiction and therefore fighting the stigma. It's in the 40,000 families per year to lose someone to the drug problem. It's in our everyday. It's in the pen of every legislator with the integrity and the fortitude to stand on morality rather than acquiescing to the latest trend. That's where the power is. It's not that we can't see the power because it's not there or because it's too small. We can't see it because it's become too big. It has become ingrained in our everyday. We can't see the power of the movement in the same way that we can't see the universe, but we can see the stars. When's the last time you really, really appreciated the stars? Like stood under their marvelousness and just marveled at their brilliance. The stars burn for us every single night without fail. So dedicated that we've lost our ability to appreciate what they do every day. Well, we have the unique opportunity to be in a room full of 2,000 stars, and I want you to give yourselves some appreciation right now. I have a fascination with the concept of exponential growth. The idea that you can roll a snowball down the hill, and not only does the snowball gain mass from collecting snow, but the rate at which it gains mass increases as well. It's the idea that you can be passionate about a thing, and you can share that passion with someone, and then it doesn't just double, it triples or quadruple or quintuples, because now, not only do they have the passion, you still have it, and the passion that you started with has grown because you're so excited and encouraged that someone else shares your passion. Now think about that phenomena. happening among 2,000 people. And then multiply that by 4 or 5 days. Now, I'm no mathematician, which is why I went to law school, but that's a lot of power. That is a lot of power. But the fear is that negativity spreads as well, as illustrated by the drug problem we're here to face. But I am encouraged by the fact that the cruelty of our shared human condition is interrupted by your compassion and your sacrifice. I said I am encouraged by the fact that that cruelty of our shared human condition is interrupted daily by your compassion and your sacrifice. That's power. That is power. You know, as you heard, I recently survived my first year of law school, and it taught me a few things. Thank you. Thank you. It taught me a few things. The first thing it taught me was that there is an actual point in time where your brain will come out of your head, call you crazy, and refuse to read another word. Like, that's an actual real thing that happens to people in the world, in life. But the other thing I learned is the difference between cramming, a thing that I call montaging, and then another thing that I call goal integration. So we all know what cramming is, right? It's that thing you do in undergrad the night before a test because going to the party and getting a B minus doesn't really seem like such a bad deal. That's cramming. That's one end of the spectrum. And then we have in the middle what I call montaging. This is when you give yourself a little bit more time, but you really go hard preparing for the test or whatever it is that you're preparing for. It's the thing that Rocky does right before the fight, or the montage that happens in every fight movie that you've ever seen. You montage. And then the last thing is goal integration. This is where you don't wait, right? This is where you spread all of your preparatory actions and things that you need to do to accomplish your goal across the period of time from right now till the day that that goal needs to be accomplished. So all the minute little actions get spread across that time. This less dazzling, less dramatic, less fiery way is by far the most powerful way to do anything. Now, I genuinely can tell you that I never understood the story of the tortoise and the hare until law school. And that's what goal integration is about. That's what you do every single day, and that's why you are so powerful and why you are so necessary. We all want to do something. We all want to leave a footprint on the world. We want to impress upon the shared consciousness of the world something good. And I gauge my own progress in this regard by the amount of epiphanies I have. How often am I having epiphanies? When was the last one I had? And the most recent major epiphany I had came to me in undergrad while I was maneuvering for comfortable sleeping in the back seat of my Honda underneath a leather jacket, right? I was homeless. I was poor. My grades were in the toilet. I had no friends. And for the first time in my life, I had no idea what was next for me. And then one day, it hit me. And this changed the trajectory of my life from that moment forward. None of this matters. The money, possessions, grades, looks, weight, popularity for the most part, it doesn't matter. All of the man-made constructs that we attach our sanity to, they disappear. But when you help people, when you work to bring health and happiness to people, when you work to inspire others, to shift the social consciousness of everyone in a positive direction, you will be remembered. That's how you tattoo the world. That's how you leave your mark. And it's the only kind of power that really exists. It's the only kind of power that matters. So I want to say to you, if you ever find yourself forgetting where the power of the movement is, if you forget that there is a such thing as a movement, I want you to hear my voice when you peel yourself out of bed in the morning. I want it to echo when you're shuffling across the floor to go brush your teeth, to put your tie on, or to pull your dress up. I want you to remember this. If you start to feel like the forgotten star or the neglected star that's not getting that credit, if you start to doubt the power of the movement, remember, you're not just a star. You're a part of the entire universe, and you are powerful. So when you start to think that way, when you start to feel that way, and you ask yourself, where is the power of the movement? I want you to stop, and I want you to look in the mirror. Thank you, guys.
I just had an epiphany that I can't follow Khiree Smith. Oh, Lord. That is the power of the movement, people. Let's hear it for Khiree Smith.